Hello and welcome to Azam Shar Weekly. In the last video, I talked about that how you can use a UI hosting controller to host and display your SwiftUI views in a UIKit application. Now, that's working great, but how do we interact between a SwiftUI view and a UIKit application? Interaction means that maybe in a SwiftUI view that you're looking at, maybe there's a text field over here, and you're typing in the text field and you want to send that data to your UIKit application. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing we're doing is we are going to be creating a particular text field. So let's go ahead and add a text field. And I'm going to say text field. And in the text field, I can go ahead and say enter name. That's fine. And for the text, we need to provide a bindable or binding expression over here, which we don't have. Now, in order to do that in a clean way, what we are going to do is we are going to create a class, and we will call it content view delegate. You can obviously call this anything you want, but we're calling it content view delegate, and this will be an observable object. And that particular object will have a property, whatever name or whatever you want to call it, which we can initialize it to nothing. And we're going to also mark this with published. So this means that whenever this property is going to be set, you're going to change that property, it's going to publish that particular event. Now I'm going to go over here and create a observed object, and it will be a delegate, and we will go ahead and say content view delegate. We do have to initialize it, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass in something over here. Let's say over here for the text. So self dot and then delegate dot name. Let's go ahead and build that. Now the first thing you will realize is that you do have to send in something over here. So if you don't send in, then the content previews are not really going to work. So we do have to send in the delegate, and I can simply go ahead and say content view delegate. There we go. Good. Okay. So this means that whenever I start typing in something in a text field, it's going to update the delegate.name property. So basically it's going to update this property right here. And since this property is marked with published, it's whenever it is changed, it is going to publish an event. And that is the event that we can actually go ahead and subscribe to. So if I go to my view controller, first of all, you can see that it is complaining because now my view controller, it's taking a content view, but it needs to find out that what to send in the content view, which we don't have. All right. So what do we have to send over here? How about we simply go ahead and create a delegate, and we're going to send in a content view delegate. Okay. And let's go ahead and build that. So it built fine now. But now what we need to do is we need to make sure that we are getting the name property from that delegate. So if you say self dot, well, now the problem is that we can't really access the delegate. See that? So what we have to do is we want to make sure that what we are passing over here, delegate, we should initialize it somewhere so that we can use it later on. So I can go over here and maybe I can call it delegate, and I can call, or I can create a content view delegate, and I can simply pass it over here. So let's go ahead and pass it. We'll call it delegate. So now at least I can access this delegate outside of it. So I can simply say delegate, and you can see delegate dot name, which is a publisher property, dot sync. And you can see that when I say sync, this means that the value is going to flow over here whenever you change the property, and some sort of a variable. So I can say over here whatever the name, maybe we're getting a name or anything, and I'm just going to print it out. Now this is going to return you some value that has to go somewhere, like a cancelable. So if you see over here, if you simply type it out, delegate.name.sync, you are going to see that it is going to be returning you any cancelable. Make sure that you are holding on to that any cancelable thing. So if you don't hold on to that, then it's going to be gone after this viewDit load is finished. So private var cancelable, which is of type any cancelable, And you can see it's not really coming up because we do have to import combine also. So let's go ahead and import combine. And now this property is declared outside the function viewDidLoad. It is a kind of like a class level property. An instance property of this view controller. And now I can go ahead and assign it any cancelable over here and build the application. All right. Now we're simply putting it on the console over here or on the terminal, but once you get the value, you can update your another text field or update some other control on the page. That's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and run our application and see that if it allows us to type in something in the text field right over here. So if I type in A, you can see that all those letters are actually being transferred. All right. Pretty cool, right? So this is how you will do those transfers between or interchanging the information between a SwiftUI control, which in this case is a content view, and the UIKit page or a UIKit application or a controller by using the delegate pattern. Now, right now in the delegate, we are passing simply the name. You can update your delegates over here, and you can pass in an actual view model also. You can also do that so that you don't have to create many different cancellables. You are passing a view model that represents an entire screen of the particular SwiftUI control. All right, but hopefully that will give you at least started, and in this lecture you learn about that how you can interchange information which is going from SwiftUI and it is ending up in a view controller in a UIKit application. If you like this video and want to support my work, then the best way would be to simply go on Udemy and check out my different course, which is SwiftUI Declarative Interfaces for any Apple device. Now this is a 15+ hour course, and it talks about SwiftUI from the start to the finish. You can take a look at the different sections that we're going to discuss. I also cover MVVM design pattern, which is a recommended pattern when you are creating SwiftUI applications, integration with core data, integration with core ML, and then the Near Me app, which is a really great app of integration with the MK map view, Apple Stocks application clone, SwiftUI animation. It just goes on and on and on and on. So the best way to get this course is to check out the YouTube description. You will find a lot of links to the different courses, also the Patreon link. So if you want to support, you can also support using the Patreon link. That will be great too. Please understand these videos take enormous amount of time, and your donations, your generosity, that really goes a long way. So if you want to support this channel, and I hope that you do, then check out the YouTube description, check out some other courses. If you already have SwiftUI, which most probably you have this course, then check out some other courses that I have. A Node course, a RxSwift course, a Combine course. There are so many other courses that I have, and your support is always appreciated. So thank you so much again for supporting my channel, and I really hope that you enjoy this course.